Thank you, Minister. Minister, since becoming a Senator in 2016, I have thoroughly enjoyed the work here. I've learned a lot and I've seen a lot, and I've welcomed the opportunity to speak on this important issue. Seanad Éireann has been the subject of no less than 14 separate reports on its reform. It is widely accepted that this upper house can and should play an effective role in Irish politics, and yet no changes ever comes. Irish people want a system of checks and balances. They want to retain the upper house to do just that. They voted for that in 2013. This latest report from the implementation group on the Manning document from 2015 offers a clear path forward, a direction for a reformed and effective Seanad. This report actually reflects much of Fianna Fáil's own constructive Seanad reform bill, which put forward a series of measures the government can immediately implement to empower them in the Seanad. And that is the key word, Minister, implement. If there is an appetite for change and a real sense of the need for change, then let's make that change. Let us give all citizens a vote and broaden representation across the Pacific minority groups. Let us look at all those wonderful people taking to the streets asking for our listening ears, our active hands. Let us look to the sports committees and school organisations, minority campaigners, and let's give them a shot at representing those who would vote for them to do so. My party was the only party to oppose abolishing the Seanad in the 2013 referendum and already used 3 Seanad nominees to reflect the need for independent voices in the upper house. The people of Ireland need change, they crave change, and we cannot offer that change without giving a complete overhaul of our political system to achieve that change. This is not a political issue, this is an Irish issue. It is time we insisted on Seanad reform, and it is time that we took ourselves to the table to achieve it. We in Fianna Fáil will work with the Seanad Reform Committee to build a consensus around reforming it. We want the Seanad to act as a check on government power and scrutinise national and EU legislation, and we want to see the doors open here of this upper house to broaden representations across all Ireland and provide a voice for groups that would not be heard in Dáil Éireann. I say it again, our own reform bill offers an immediate legislative route to help achieving those goals and can be implemented by the government over the coming weeks. We cannot let the government ignore the need for real political reform by letting it slip off the agenda. Our bill would call for our young people across the globe and offer them a voice here. They deserve one. They are our citizens, no matter where they walk. We would invite votes for eligible Northern Irish citizens and reserve seats for minority groups, moving more towards gender and identity equality and indeed curb spending on campaigns. I can commit today, I can tell you, we in Fianna Fáil will work with the committee to advance the Manning report and our own ideas and reform. We seek real, tangible change. We want to reflect that in what we are asking on the doorsteps, because we hear this going around the country. There was a lot of talk by the former Fine Gael government of a democratic revolution, but silencing our voices in this House was not the way at all. We, each of us, have used the powers of this House to debate 2 questions, to raise issues, to instruct and inform, and I think in the past number of years have tried to revive the powerful upper house of the 1922 Free State Constitution, and that is where we need to be. In 1937, after its brief abolition, a new reformed Seanad was established with 5 panels of agriculture, labour, industry and commerce, national language and culture and public administration to reflect sectors of Irish life included, and the remaining seats reflecting government control and the tradition of a university representation. The American author John J. Chapman once said, "The world of politics is always 20 years behind the world of thought. We have time now to catch up." Since 1937 and the restoration of a much weakened Seanad, Irish life has changed, and we must change to reflect that. We need to include the Irish abroad, those in Northern Ireland who would be eligible to vote, those voiceless among us, if we are ever to have true representation in modern Irish life. Fianna Fáil has pushed forward Dáil reform as the basis for real change, and we will work with the new committee to advance real change in the Seanad. We are committed to finding common ground in developing a consensual approach in reforming the upper house, and it is imperative that Fine Gael uses this as the starting point for introducing genuine reform. Not just the severely restricted bill it originally published on broadening university graduate voting rights. We would also look to real Dáil reform and expansion of local government to effect real change in Irish politics and to reflect real Ireland. Minister, this is this is so passionate, I think, for all of us here as senators. It's such an honour for us to be here, making changes to people's lives. Legislation is so important. But the Seanad, we need reform, and the sooner the better. We all work together, and all of us working together, to make that change for the good of Irish people. Ireland is changing. We now need to change with the new Ireland, and what we have is a new Ireland. And we have so many other bigger issues that seem to be facing us, even like with climate change and with all the different areas that seem to be affecting all of us now. So I will definitely, all of us working together, we can make that change, and it will be the better for the Irish people that we represent. Thank you.